All right, good morning everyone. So 365 days of horsemanship, day 9. Short and sweet this morning. I got a dash really soon, so I just literally popped up really quick. And I didn't have a lot of time, and so I didn't really get done what I wanted to get done, and I didn't really achieve what I wanted to achieve. I came to see Mia. She was sleeping under the oak tree, and I think what's frustrating is that if I'd have had all the time in the world, I would have come and slept with her until she had finished sleeping, and then we could have gone and played together. And that would have been a really nice way to bond before going in the arena. But I didn't have that time. And so I wanted to just bring her up, and obviously she didn't want to come. So I actually filmed it sort of unintentionally. I just thought I'd film us just chilling out while I halted her, and then ended up filming us kind of playing for 15 minutes. Where basically I was kind of like trying to get her to wake up. And actually, I wonder if maybe I was just too direct line about it. But I was like kind of stroking all over her and just moving around a lot. And I think actually I could have done that. I think I could have done like less being in flow with her, but in a more gentle way. So I had my halter with me, and obviously usually to halter, you would put pressure towards the hindquarters and the horse yields and comes towards you. Which usually she does, if she's just grazing and she's like happy to see me, which is kind of what I had expected from today. And so I asked, and she said no, and so then I was just hanging out with her, and kind of like moments of flow, and then I was like stroking, and then like moments of flow, and I started asking again with the line, and after a bit then she would like turn like a little bit, and then I go back into flow and sleep with her, and then I'd ask again, and then flow, and then again, and then flow. And the last one, it was like ages before she turned, and I kept the pressure super light, like Magali says, like just pick a pressure and hold it, like don't she says that about contact. I tend to kind of take that for lots of things. Just to be like an annoyance. Like once you put a pressure on that your horse can feel, or for me, once I put a pressure on that she can feel, I then keep it on basically. And I don't increase it really as much as I used to, unless I like need something, like if we're walking and she's like desperate to eat the grass, like I'll increase it then as much as I need to be effective. But I know that she can feel me, and I don't want to make her turn, like I know that I am making her turn in the end, but I just want it to be more gentle, just more annoying. Like I want it to be annoying, not like aggressive. Like she can kind of choose to ignore it if she wants to, and she can also choose not to ignore it. So in the end, she like turned and looked at me, and I was like, nice, okay, that's enough. Like I don't have really any more time today. And actually when I went to walk away, she did come with me, which I thought was interesting, not like right next to me. And she did lick and chew. And I thought that it was a good session in that I came in with my needs and she had her needs. And her needs was to sleep and my needs was to play. And I think it was good that I still came and I still played in a dominant way. But she also had her needs met, and it was like a compromise. And in the end, I think, she looked and chewed. It was a good learning moment. I don't think she had a bad time with me necessarily. I don't know that we really connected, but I don't think that it was a bad session. I don't think she left with a bad taste in her mouth. I think it was interesting for her that I had been more forceful, but I still hadn't, like, more forceful than I am when I just come and I ask her and she says no, and then we do freedom stuff. And that it had still not been that unpleasant. Like, I don't think it was that unpleasant for her. I don't think that she felt really, like, put upon. I don't think that she felt really put out. Like, she didn't look really put out at the end. When she was walking with me, she wasn't walking like right next to me, but yeah, I think it was okay. I actually think, looking back in retrospect, I probably got a little bit too focused on the one task, because when she would turn to look at me after I'd finished with the halter, I could have gone into flow with her, and then actually I could have just gone and asked for something else. Rather than asking for the same hindquarter yield every time, I could have just walked around a little bit, stroked her a little bit, kind of changed up the situation and the energy, and then I could have maybe asked her to, like, back up one step or to yield her other hindquarter or something like that, which I think maybe would have been better to have a little bit more variety. Yeah. I still need to think about this session a little bit. I'm not sure if I should have just slept with her, but it's something that's important for me and my horses, because I know there's going to be lots of times in my life where I don't have a lot of time, and so it kind of is something that I need from them, is to be able sometimes to say, okay, I can come now, I'm not going to need to, sometimes I'm just not going to have that much time. So then it's like, how do I get there? Should I have taken the slow route? Or was it okay to take this route? I don't know. It's one of those tricky ones. This is the kind of session that brings my confidence down and makes me feel, or would have made me feel, like, more unsure. And that's what really kills, like, my motivation to keep coming and keep trying and keep pushing, is this idea that, like, maybe I got it wrong. And then on top of that, I don't mind if I get it wrong and I realise exactly how I got it wrong, and then I can come back and do differently next time. But when I realise that, when I'm not really happy with how a session went, and I'm not really sure what I should have done, that can be tricky. So, yeah. I have the video, which is great, so I'm probably going to look over that later. I might post it as well, maybe with some thoughts, I don't know. Yeah, but it's okay. Not every day can be a good day, and I definitely have learned something from talking about it here, so that's good too. I zipped in to see Lawrence before I left, and it was really nice, really comforting that, he always comes. Even if I have to get quite close, he doesn't really come from that far away, but he always comes. And that's nice to feel like that we have that solid base where he does actually want to see me. Even if he wants to see me and then he, says no to anything else. So that was nice. That was a little comforting. But then he does this thing where he pushes me away with his nose, and I've always taken that as a, like, get out of my space. But I did wonder today as I was walking away if it's actually play. And even though it's not comfortable play for me, that I should have, because I scratched his ears a little bit and it was nice, and then he pushed me quite hard with his nose, and I was like, whoa, okay, and stepped back and then left, because I, obviously don't have any time today. But actually then as I was walking away, I looked back and I saw him and he was looking at me, and he almost kind of looked surprised that I had left. And actually I think that I was talking with Elsa about this the other day on Facebook. She commented on a question of mine, Elsa Sinclair, and she was talking about walking away and coming back. And then if you walk away and come back, then the horse learns to be more gentle or, like, respectful in the way that they ask for things. And I think that probably would have been more effective than just literally walking away. So yeah, again, it was, like, disappointing to not have the time to really do what I wanted to do. But it was nice to see him, and I'm happy that I saw him, because I'm not going to see him later. So yeah, made it up for my horsemanship, and I do feel good about that. yeah, and I think all these tricky things will work out in the end.